Hey everybody, so I wanted to record a quick thing on Fred VanVleet because seemed people were kind of going crazy about it. So we'll start off with it, just looking at the box score. Raptors Orlando, Raptors lose this. 4 points, end of the game. Fred VanVleet's stat line, again, people are going to look at it, going to point to 36% shooting. He was horrible. Couldn't hit a 3, 2 and 9. He's forcing up bad shots. Again, looking at this quickly, yes, 36% looks horrible, but again, with field goal percentage for high volume 3-point shooters, you kind of want to break it up. You want to look at what the effective field goal percentage is. Again, 3-point shooting, not great, 2 and 9. We'll look into those shots and see what they look like and whether they're bad looks or not. Let's get this out of the way first. I personally still believe that Fred VanVleet is a good 3-point shooter. I don't think anything has changed to make him suddenly literally one of the worst 3-point shooters in the NBA. I think that he can become a good 3-point shooter again. So if you believe that he'll never be able to hit 3 again in his life, probably not the video for you. You should probably just check out. But anyways, 5-14. Take the 3s out, the 2 and 9, and he's 3 of 5 inside the arc. That's pretty solid. So let's take a look at some of his last couple games. Actually, before we do that, we can talk about it. Got 9 free throws, 7 and 9. Solid enough. Again, you're going to miss a couple free throws here and there. But he is clearly struggling in form because those are not the best free throw misses that he had either. 6 assists versus 2 turnovers. Had a steal and a block. It's really 2 steals. Ended up with 19 points. Not the worst night. Minus 3-point shooting, really. And then, of course, the plus minuses are all over the place because the Raptors just decided not to play team defense for like 2 quarters. So whoever was on the court when they weren't playing team defense, gets slapped with a negative. So let's go into Fred VanVleet's page real quick. So we're going to go into the advanced box where we're going to take a look at a little bit of the video. But before we get in there, just looking at his last 2 games especially is what we're going to look at. So again, 5 for 14, 36%, 8 of 20, 40%. Doesn't look like good shooting percentages, but again, you back out the 3s, and he is 5 for 8 last against the Lakers. He's 3 of 5 inside the arc today. So not that bad inside the arc, and that's kind of where you want to see the improvement is, hey, if he's forcing stuff inside the arc on his drives, that's usually been a point of criticism for him because he's bricking those. And again, in previous games, he's not been very great inside the arc. He hasn't really been attempting much inside the arc outside of maybe this Brooklyn game that was like 2 weeks ago. Again, looking at more recent results to see how his form is kind of coming to as we say that he's trying to get better. The big key to look at both these games, big free throw numbers, 6 of 6 from the free throw line, 7 of 9 from the free throw line. So getting to the free throw line means he's still being aggressive. He's still drawing fouls, which is good. 7 assists, 6 assists. Again, fairly low turnovers in comparison to the assists. He's at about 2.5 to 1, 3 to 1. It's not bad. That's pretty solid. And again, very low level of competition, but we're just looking at can he round into form. So let's take a look at some of the shots that he's been taking. Again, not worried about 2-pointers. So let's look at just the 3s that he's shooting. So if we take a look at, let's start with the Orlando game, actually. Why not? So the Orlando game, let's take a look at the type of shots he's taking and what he's missing. So my issue with Fred VanVleet would be if he was taking bad 3-point shots. The issue seems to be that he cannot make an easy one to save his life. Now, Fred VanVleet, he gets his 3-point shots in a couple ways. Either he shoots a pull-up off of a pick and roll with a big and drop that we're going to see in this very first clip of the game, or he shoots a ton of catch-and-shoot 3s where he has a fair bit of space. So we're going to roll tape and see what happens here. So this one, pretty simple. Calls Pascal out for a screen, bigs and drop. So Fred says, all right, I'm going to pull up. He's leaning a little bit beyond his body here, which isn't ideal. Gets up for the shot, misses it right. It's a good shot to take. It's early in the first quarter. You still have your legs. Go for it. This second 3, again, Pascal sets a screen. Big is in deep drop. He says, all right, I'm going to take this pull up. It's a shot he's hit throughout his career. Doesn't go in. Rims out. This one, end of first quarter shot, we can more or less just disregard this. Again, this is a garbage shot. Doesn't really matter. So I'm just going to disregard this. So we'll just say he has 8 attempts for the night. Now this one, Scotty Barnes in the post, pass it. Pascal picks this pass off. Again, now you're looking at 8 seconds left on the clock. Fred is deep here. His man is stuck here. Realistically, Scotty's throwing this pass directly to Fred. Pascal sets a screen on his man. Fred VanVleet's wide open. Pascal doesn't see it. Interrupts it, catches the ball. You see Scotty throws his hand up like, yo, what are you doing? Gets back to Fred. Fred pulls up, slightly contested now, doesn't go in. So a little bit of miscommunication there. You have to shoot that. There's only 5 seconds left. Still a fine shot because it's a catch and shoot, but it's a little tough at this point. So we'll call that one a semi-contested shot. but it's one you got to take. But hey, I don't expect him to hit that per se. So this is probably the first poor shot he's had. He's had 3 really good looks and now 1 really poor look. The next one here that we're going to get to, let this play roll out. So this one, again, this probably not the best one. So Fred comes up. He's in transition. He's got nobody really with him. Orlando's got basically their entire team back, and he's got 20 seconds on the clock, and he pulls up in transition. This is probably one of the, like, it's a rhythm shot, so I can't say it's a bad shot. It's a shot that Kyle Lowry takes a lot. I will say it's not like an ideal shot. Like, you definitely want to get your team up. You have no rebounders. And he's got a pretty good contest, and he makes it. That's the one he makes. So he's missed a bunch of wide-open catch-and-shoot ones where he's had opportunities, once where the big is in drop and he has good lanes. Here, again, coming off the pick and roll, the big is in a drop, but he's pretty high up, like almost close to the level of the screen. And if you look at this, he comes off, pull up, same pull up that he took it. The big is actually a fair bit closer. This contest, like, they slap hands. They slap 5. Okay, that's really poor. And this is the one that goes in. So, give me a beat here. All right. Beat.com. So we'll run it again. Comes off the screen. The big gets his hand basically there. That's a great contest, even if you were in a slight drop. And this is the one that he makes. So again, the 2 shots that he's made, it's an and 1 as well. The 2 threes that he makes on the night, probably the more difficult ones that he's taken. This one, again, Thad Young screen. Not the best here. You got 12 seconds left on the clock, 37 on the clock. So even for the 2-for-1, it's a little early. They're trying to set up some type of Spain pick and roll stuff here where Gary's screening. Thad's defender as Thad sets the screen. Thad kind of whiffs on the screen. If you go back, Thad comes to set the screen, sets it a little bit too high, doesn't make any body contact. So the defender's still kind of in the line of sight, gets a good contest off. Fred probably could have made this, played this out a little bit more. But he takes a shot, not the best shot, contested, misses it. So that's probably the second poor shot that I'm seeing here that he's missed. This one, another bad one. This is the 4th quarter now. 19 seconds on the clock, 4:20 left, 5-point game. You've got an empty corner. You've got a big on you. Realistically, off this catch, big doesn't really have his feet set, is giving away baseline. He should be hitting this baseline hard. Going down here, you got 20 seconds on the clock. Even if guys collapse, you got Scotty Barnes, you see filling the dunker spot as we let it play. If you hit that, this defender comes down. This defender potentially comes down. Only issue here is OG still hasn't really come up into the play, so you are playing 4-on-5. But even then, I think Fred should probably attack this or reset it. He rushes this shot. So if you see this, he has goes in, step back, contested. That's a bad shot. So that's probably his 3rd tough 3 he's taken. This one legitimately a bad shot. This one, he comes in again, 4th quarter, drops it to Scotty here. Scotty here has, again, you got 16 seconds. Scotty catches it at the elbow, and he's immediately looking to get rid of the ball back instead of looking at the rim. He's got Bull there. Bull's longer than you, but he's not stronger than you. If you hit this gap right here, Franz Wagner has to make a decision whether to commit or not, and you hit Gary in the corner. Instead, Scotty Barnes not even looking at this side of the basket, directly catches it, throws it right back. So, again, we can talk about Scotty later, but a little bit low confidence here. Still a good find. Gets a catch and shoot. This is pretty quick. Again, shooting this 15 seconds left, 3 minutes on the clock. I get it that you probably haven't had the best offensive possessions, but I think this is a little bit rushed, and it's a miss, of course. So, not the best shot. So, a couple of tough shots here late in the game by Fred VanVleet, and that was his last 3 attempts. So, again, now we're looking at 2 of 9 in this Orlando game. Really 2 of 8 when you take out that garbage time shot. And the 2 makes he had were probably the more difficult looks that he had. So, again, he missed his first 2 catch and shoots. I think this one was also a pretty easy one. Yeah, this was also a catch and shoot. This one got blown up. So, very easily you go 2 for 8. He makes even one of those catch and shoots. He's 3 for 8. And that's not that bad of a 3-point shooting night, right? 3 for 8, 37.5%. Nobody's really complaining. But, again, these are small sample sizes in a game, and you got to hit them. So, he's struggling to hit pretty clean looks. Took a couple of rough looks in the 4th quarter that he should be, rightfully criticized for, but, you live with it. But in terms of his shooting, I don't think there are terribly a whole lot of bad shots there. Going to the Lakers game, so we can go to the Laker game here. And we start off with the first attempt here. The Laker game is kind of hilarious. So again, you see a similar thing. I'll full screen this for you. Oh, fantastic. Let's just reload this real quick. So the Laker game kind of funny because you'll see his shot charge up here. End up being 3 for 12, 25%. Again, he hits one more, 4 for 12, 33%. You kind of live with that. But the attempts that he missed here are kind of hilarious. So we'll go full screen. Let's see if we can get this thing to work. So again, it's the very beginning of the game. Fresh legs. Christian Coloco not able to do anything. Kicks it back out to him. Sets a screen. It's nice and high. The big is dropped. Fred gets a nice amount of space. Now, the big's actually pretty close. It's not like a whole lot of room. But again, this is the first play of the game. You got fresh legs. Fred comes off the screen. Big's not up on the screen. Boom. Pull up three. That's a shot he normally takes. The shot we saw him take against Orlando a few times already, and he missed them. This one is a catch and shoot from the hash mark. Again, that's a hash mark that he shoots from regularly, leaves it short. Again, this is in the first minute of the game, so he's got fresh legs. Just a rough miss. Catch and shoot's a little deep, so we'll say it's a little difficult. This is a crazy shot. Taking a step back here, first quarter, that's a bad shot. I will say that's a bad shot. So we got him at least one bad three-point attempt already in this game. He's 1 for 3. Coming through now, second quarter, he's coming down, looking at it early, 20 seconds left on the clock. Again, gets a quick screen from Thad Young. Thad doesn't really make the best of contact, but again, he's created enough room. Play it through. Fred VanVleet misses it, but that's a pull-up that he takes. Again, his early shot clocks are probably not the best, but you let your shooters take those. This one, much rougher. So you can say he's probably at 2 bad shots right now. This is an easy catch and shoot, walk in the park shot. You got to hit that, right? Misses that, that's tough. But you're going to take that shot. Again, catch and shoot, wide open, easy one. Misses it, left rim. Now, again, Fred VanVleet's a very good three-point shooter. He has been throughout almost the entirety of his career. So these are shots that he'd normally be hitting. You've got 2 basically gimmies there. He's a 41% shooter, even just this season on wide open catch and shoots. And wide open being 6 feet or more from nearest defender, and he's just not hitting these catch and shoots. So now we keep going. This one coming off the steal. This is probably his hardest attempt of the night. Comes down transition from that hash mark, sets up his 2 feet. Boom. This is the one he makes. So the 2 threes that he's made so far. One is a deep 3 pull up off a screen. This one, another catch and shoot from the right side. Doesn't hit it. And again, that's a late contest. You've got clear space to do it. Another easy one that's a shot that he would feel good about hitting. Any shooter would feel good about hitting. Misses it. Here we go again. In terms of shot selection, what we're talking about, this is a catch and shoot. The contest is late. It's a clean line of sight in that shot. Misses it short. Here we go. Another one. Now we're going to get this ball back. He's at the hash mark. He just hit one from the hash mark on the other side of the half. And boom, this one's a bad miss. Tough shot if you're not shooting it well. So we'll say that's another bad shot. So we're at, 3, maybe 4 bad shots out of all these. That one's easy, straightforward. Comes out to screen, pull up. Standard stuff for Fred VanVleet, nothing too difficult. And then this is a garbage type shot. Realistically, whatever, end of quarter. You got to get a shot up. You live with it. So I'm just going to take that miss off his record, to be real with you. So we're at what? So he was 3 of 12 on the night. Take out that one garbage time, that one end of quarter one. You're at 3 of 11. He makes one more of those wide open catch and shoots. He missed all of them. Missed all of his catch and shoots. He misses even one of the. He makes one of those 4 open catch and shoots here. 4 of 11. That's a great 3-point shooting percentage. Perfectly admirable. And again, like both of these games that we've looked at, the ones that he's missing are the ones where he's got his feet set. He's got his legs under him on the shot, and he's just missing them. And at some point, that's going to start going in for him as a shooter, but he is getting good looks. This is a good process. It's not like he is forcing that 3-point shot. We can blame him a little bit for the end of that Orlando game, but overall, he's not really forcing the 3. So I don't understand the amount of backlash he's getting. The process is generally good. It's not bad. And realistically, at any point, any of these nights can flip the other way. And again, you go back to his boxes for the last 2 games. You add in like you're getting 3 or 4 catch and shoots he's missing. He shoots 50% on either of those. You're adding another 6 points to these totals. You got 31, you got 25 on the same shot diet and completely achievable. And now you're looking at that with assists, low turnovers, you're getting a couple steals. Suddenly that becomes a much better game overall, right? So I think some of the blowback on Fred VanVleet's been a little overblown. Sure, he has had a rough go of it shooting. I don't think his shooting has been that bad in terms of shot selection, though. So, yeah, this turned out to be a lot longer than I wanted it to be, but I did want to go through the clips. And, yeah, there you go. So, if you're still hating on Fred, that's on you.